Hey there, y'all. Wait, let me turn my little light on. Let's see. Oh, yes, that is so much better. Okay. Um, hey everybody, welcome. I have Brenda here with me. She is one of the retreat attendees. I am Shalise Daniels. I am the host of the Radical Rest Retreat, which is also coming up again in April. I wanted to get Brenda on here to tell you about her experience because Brenda is not one of the people that I was actually targeting for the experience, but she's one of the people that probably got the most out of the experience. I was targeting entrepreneurs. And Brenda is, in my opinion, when you're in the C-suite, you are an entrepreneur of your own right. Intrapreneur is what Bozoma St. John tends to call it, where you take that department, you make it yours, it's your baby, it's your business within a larger organization. So that's why I wanted Brenda to come on. Brenda, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So, Shalise, first of all, I just would like to thank you for making this space for me to sort of share my experience on the retreat. I am the former COO of Third Way, and Third Way is a political think tank in Washington, D.C. I have worked there for 15 years, and I just gotten to a point where I decided, you know what? I need to do something different. I love that organization. I am still very much a part of the organization, definitely in spirit, but sometimes in tactical projects, special one-offs. As a matter of fact, I just finished a project for them, and last Friday was actually my official last day. But as everyone keeps telling me, it probably really is not, but TBD. But all in all, I'm an executive, and when you and I met, I told you I was sort of going through this uncertainty about what does my next step look like, and that just it seemed like it was a magnet for the two of us to just connect. And as a result of that, you just kept trying to dig in and help me to figure this out, and like, what is it that you really want to do with the next chapter? And so, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, yes, I very much believe that I am an entrepreneur, and I have been an entrepreneur, as you stated, with building the systems, the teams, the departments that I've built within Third Way. But now I'm like ready to do my own thing, but I wasn't exactly certain what that was. So, you told me about this retreat, and I said, hey, let's go.
You did. And your husband warned me several times, like, I don't think my wife, I don't know. But that was, yeah, you did great. And I have a series of questions that I've already shared with you, some things that I want to ask, but I don't care where the conversation goes. I want to have fun
Okay,
and
great.
talk about the experience. So before we went, what was your initial expectations about the retreat?
I really didn't have any true initial expectations. I was just eager to go and experience something different. I had never been to Costa Rica, and I was already stepping out. Like I was the I here's the thing, when you do the type of work that I do, you're extremely structured and what you do and how you do it, because you know how it impacts others or how you hope to. So even when I would be creative or innovative, it was with a great deal of planning. So it wasn't just like off the cuff and on the fly. And you and I met late December, early January, and so we go on this cruise in April. I'm not sorry, we go on this retreat in April. So that's a short period of time for me to establish a relationship, to build trust. And but again, it was just like you mentioned this, and I said, I want to go. I'm just gonna go. I am just going to step outside of my normal mode of operation, and I am going to do this. So no, I had no idea what I was going to experience. I've been on retreats before, and I know, work, it was part work, part sort of enjoying the environment. But first of all, I've never done a retreat in Costa Rica. As a matter of fact, I had never been to Costa Rica before. So I didn't really have any preconceived expectations.
Well, I can tell you this much. When you told me about your friend group, what we've come to call the delegation, when you told me about your friend group, and you called me, and I remember I was in Costa Rica when you called me, and you were like, well, I just told my friends they kind of want to know who you are. I was like, girl, I can't fight. I'm gonna run. You could tell them where I am and all that. I was like, they are going to beat me up. Like, tell them I'm okay. It was so funny because they were like, who is this lady that you just met that you're going out of the country with without your husband of 30 or 40 years? I can't remember. Um,
It's yeah, it's a lot. That's all we need to know, but it's actually at 40.
who are you going out of town with? This is not like you. All of a sudden, I was like, listen, you can show them my profile, tell them who I am because I am going to run. I am not, I'm not going to face what we affectionately come to call as the delegation.
Delegation. So, I mean, but that right there is a testament to, again, how this was so unusual and out of the norm for Brenda, because even my husband, who, was like, you should do it, was still like, okay, hold on, if something happens to her in Costa Rica. My son, who's in the military, was like, yeah, dad, if something,
I've seen your
we ain't
son.
gonna
I've
find
seen
her.
your son. I'm not playing any games with him. He's like this, this
Yeah.
big. I've seen him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a Marine.
So now we're there. And I know I noticed a little bit of hesitant energy when you first got there, like in the jungle area, so on. I want you to share a memorable moment or activity, something that shaped or changed you once you got there. Maybe a significant impact if there was any.
So the whole experience was truly enjoyable. And like I said, I didn't know what to expect. But I knew I went in prepared to just enjoy this experience. Like I was committed to that. It wasn't like it was hard work. It wasn't like, okay, Brenda, you said you were the best host and facilitator that I could have even imagined. And I know that you were concerned about my experience and I was concerned about your work. I'm just like, I know she's like stressing and I know and I did not want to pile on. I could not have done anything to alleviate what you were experiencing, but I definitely didn't want to create something that made you feel like, oh, is Brenda okay? So I knew that, but I enjoyed every single thing that we did. Because again, you were taking me so far outside my comfort zone. So having this old woman do cartwheels on the beach, and I'm just like, these joints don't land like yours. But I mean, I guess out of everything that we did, okay, so seeing spiders this big along the roads and the webs, and like so, for anyone who's listening, it's just like I wasn't the only person at this retreat, so everyone else had young kids, and they were like, "Oh, let's take pictures because their boys are gonna love it." I'm like, "Get back in this car because seeing
Before that spider
spiders."
gets you.
Exactly. But again, it was just like the energy. It was the energy of the entire group. It was the vibe. And it's like all of us were like so different, like coming together with different experiences and backgrounds. I mean, other than the fact that all of us were women, there were just so many differences of where we are at our stage in life and careers and everything. And never once did I feel out of place. Never once did I feel like I was the oldest, and I was. but, but I would say, and I know this is going to sound sort of superficial, but honestly, the photo shoot. The photo shoot was like the best and most memorable experience. And, I don't know why. I mean, it's not like I've never had my photo taken before. I mean, anybody who knows me will can attest to that. But I think it was, again, just doing something different, stepping outside um, of who I am and the things that have held me back. So the whole retreat was just so uplifting and rewarding, in ways that it is hard to articulate. But it really was, a life altering experience for me, because it let me know that, you know what, Brenda, you don't have to, be so cautious. And I mean, I've just grown up that way. This truly, truly was just how we were raised. But it just, it was liberating.
Let's talk a minute about the photo shoot. That was extremely important to me, not just for marketing, but I think we see ourselves differently than other people see us. And for me, the photo shoot, I wanted that to be empowering because all the ladies that were there were beautiful, many in different ways, but definitely their beauty needed to be acknowledged. And sometimes a photographer can capture those moments that you tend to be so critical of yourself. And as women, we've always been taught to, you got to be pretty, right? Smart, yes, but pretty over this smart thing in terms of society. And I felt that it empowers us when we see ourselves in a certain light, in a certain way. And I wanted you, each and every one of you, to experience that. That was really important to me. And the schedule, even the cadence of the activities were like, first, let's have you relax, the meditation class, then let's have you dance and get free and loose and feel good inside of your body in that somatic healing with the twerk class. And then let's do the photo shoot because I felt that it would open up your expression a little bit more. And I loved every minute of the photo shoot and capturing you and capturing him, capturing you with the other ladies it just felt so good. So yeah, yeah. I'm
It
happy
was
to.
it, it was great. It was great. And I mean, in speaking of the retreat to others, I mean, I just said, like, it was a retreat that addressed, your mind, your body, and your soul. Like, the activities that touched on all of those. And it, I couldn't have imagined it prior to, even if you would have, and we had the itinerary, we had the layout, we knew what was scheduled, but what I took away from it, how I experienced it, I would not have expected, that to be the case.
So you know me now, like we're good friends. So you
Yes,
know
we
me
absolutely are.
well, and you know that my belief is that we attract to us, like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so all of these experiences you are attracting because obviously you are in the right space. Like this is what you needed to help you along your journey of already evolving because you talk about that a lot, like, oh, I was already changing. So these things have helped you. I want to know, if possible, if you have how the retreat may have helped you change along the journey that you were already on. Did you notice anything significant once you returned after processing the retreat in terms of how you've changed, grown?
I think that, two things happen. One is very, very, very important, and the other one is just, funny.
Of course.
Um, so I've stopped stressing over things. I mean, when you have, the amount of responsibility that I have had on my shoulders when it comes down to my professional life and my personal life. I'm a mother of three. I've been, with my husband for like 40 years. And, no matter what, I'm still like the captain or the co-captain in the family. And then, like the head of, a significant, body of work and in a very, very serious organization. So trying to, let's sort of settle down and just unwind and calm down was extremely difficult for me. I was like so tightly wound, it was insane. And I didn't know it because this is how I've been moving, like this is how I've been functioning. So that experience sort of like helped me to sort of like let go of some of those things and to realize those things are not that important when you like look at the bigger picture. And as I was walking, one day, I think this was like next to the last day that we were going to be leaving, and we had gone to the beach, and it was actually raining, and I'm walking on a beach in the rain. I'm just like, again, this is not who I am. It's just like, no, I'm too prissy for that. I don't do that. Loved it. Loved the experience. But just watching the waves, like just looking at God's creation and then just thinking like, man, why are you focusing on some of the most insignificant things when this is, what the universe has to offer us? So that was, again, that's why I said it was sort of like life altering. One of the other things that's more funny is one of the things you taught me was about grounding. And I was like, oh God, I am so funny about my feet. It's the craziest thing. I mean, I think I've mentioned this to you.
Mm-hmm.
The movie, what is it, Die Hard, the first Die Hard
And the
movie.
glass.
And the glass and the feet. And the whole movie, I love the movie, but I could not relax because he didn't have any shoes on as he's running through all of this stuff. It was just like, so for me, in the bottom of my feet, it's like one of those things, right? So, but you taught me about grounds, like go outside, like just plant your feet on Mother Earth, and and the energy that just sort of rises up in your body. So I started doing that, and once I got back, and I'm like, okay, I'm like showing you, I'm trying here, whatever. But what it also created is I am out in my garden now. Well, it's not a garden yet. It's not a garden. Stop. Okay, I'm out in my yard, like I'm out there, I'm tilling soil, I'm planting seeds, I'm watering things. I'm just doing a whole bunch of things that I would have never done before. And even my husband has to give me credit because I don't do this. This is not me.
He was very doubtful. We had dinner before we left. My husband and I came to your house. We had dinner for the viewers, had dinner before we left. And Tony was sitting on one side of the table. And you have to know Tony. Like I can see his face. He's like, all right, Shalise, you don't know my wife. And he does this handshake.
But
It
he
was
did
hilarious.
say that the trip was going to make me or break me. He said it's going to make me or break me. And and I know you didn't bring this up, but we had an incident with some animal. I don't know what it was,
Uh,
but at this point, so and this is where the leader in me comes out. This is where the mother in me comes out. And I'm like, I come in, and so for the viewers, like we had like an outdoor kitchen area, right? But like everything is put away. But we had I think this was the day of the photo shoot, and we had packed up some fruit and everything to take with us to our shoot location. But we didn't eat everything, so we brought it back. But it was fruit and bananas, just like and so everything that wasn't just a natural fruit that would normally be out was sort of covered up. But the bananas were still out, and we come back in from dinner, and there is this mess on the counter. But it is not like the banana was peeled like a normal banana would be peeled. It's like all of these pieces, and I'm like, what the? And I am just going off because again, but I'm walking boldly into an unknown danger.
can I
And
paint the picture?
and I'm just like, I don't know what happened here. I don't, because the truth be told, I was uncertain what had
That
happened.
is not how it went. Can I tell how it went? This is how it really went. So we come back from dinner, and Brenda's the first person to walk in, but it's an open space again. So she walks in, and she just boldly keeps walking and going to. She said, "Now who did this? Who did this mess?" And it's stuff everywhere. And we were like, "I think it's some animals. They must have gotten into a monkey." And she walks. She's like, where is the can't believe they got this mess. So she walks over. It's like an island or an L shape in the middle.
Island.
And she keeps going to the refrigerator, like the audacity of them to come into our space and make this mess as if she's looking for these animals. Now, this is the same lady that has told me before that there are love bugs or stink bugs that come into the house at a certain time and they're on the TV and she can't move. And she's like, "Oh, Tony, get the stink bug. I can't even get out of my bed until you get it off of the TV." And she's demanding that these monkeys show themselves because the audacity of them to have our bananas. So I was like, this is not the same lady. And I'm telling Tony, like that was for me, that was it. That was the moment I was like, oh, things have changed. There has been a shift in this relationship. Yeah, it was great. That was great
All
to see.
I know is I saw a mess and I was just like, who would do this? And it wasn't until later that I realized, oh, this was an animal. But I was too far gone at this point. I was just like, no, this is just wrong. Why couldn't they have just taken the bananas and gone on about their business? We would have never known. We would have assumed one of us ate the bananas. But yeah, but that
That was
that was
funny.
a fun moment. It was a
That
fun
was
moment.
a really,
I
yeah, that was
I will sum up and just say that the retreat was truly rewarding and it changed me in ways that I didn't even realize I needed to be changed. Honestly, Shalise, I probably thought I'm just going to go chill in Costa Rica.
a
And because again, I've never been there before. So hey, let's go. Let's have a great time. And I did. I did that plus. I did that and then some. So it was, there was bonuses all over that experience for me.
I love the space. The space changed me when I went, and there's always timing because when I got there it was COVID and so on. I could talk forever, but this is not about me. It's free. It's about you and your experience. So, um, I'm always clear with saying like this was not easy for me. Putting on the retreat wasn't easy. I'm not a fan of like planning big events and stuff like that. So my big why, having that in the forefront of my mind, is that I wanted women. Every time I visualize this, I visualize the woman riding her bike down that main road and the braids blowing in the wind. And I wanted them to see us doing things. We stayed at a Black owned young woman. She's not even 40 now, even Black owned resort. We stayed at, it was Simone White's resort.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed you guys my property and several other young women's property that I wanted to open up an experience to people to one rest, but also see the power in what you can do financially, economically, together, separate, but together, feeling that support. And that's all that I could see. And I wouldn't allow my lack of wanting to plan something get in the way of wanting to provide this experience for folks that otherwise may not have experienced this.
Absolutely.
So I'm always asking for feedback. I know that after I put on my armor, I'm like, okay, so give it to me. And now I want to know what's one thing that you would add and or change.
Wow. I am not 100% certain that there was any that there's anything that I would change as far as the attendees experience. I would change something for you as the facilitator and the person who did all of the logistical work. And I would just say, you did have a helper there, little BB, that was great and she helped out a lot. But I felt like your role was just it was divided in so many different directions. And like I said, and this is probably again just the mother and me and the leader, it's just like she's doing too much. And I just felt like your stress level, of which you absolutely never showed, but I knew it had to be like off the charts. It was the inaugural, it was your first one. And I know you wanted everyone to get out of it what they came to get out of it. And like I said, all of us came with from just different perspectives and different outlooks and different challenges. And so I would probably just say, just you have some additional help, that would probably be the only thing. So not, I don't think that there was anything that could have been better for me as the attendee. And this is just me and my nature to say that I was like worried about you. But it wasn't like you did anything to make me see it. I just sort of felt it. And I think you and I just had this instant connection to from the time that we first
Yeah.
met on the ship to the point that that right there was the thing that I was just like, I wanted her to know like this is absolutely fabulous, like to put this on. And then the amount of time, because I don't know how long you have been thinking about it, but I know you started planning it after we got back in January. So, that was a short amount of time to pull off something like that. Trust me, I work with event people all the time. These types of things are planned out a year in advance at the minimum. So, like the location, the activities, all of the different people that you contracted to work with us. So the fact that you did that in record time, just like this was phenomenal. So yeah, I have no I have nothing that I could add to that experience. I know you're going to surpass what you did. I know you're going to for the next one. And I will probably come to a future one. So I'm just letting you know that now. That's how great it was. But yeah, no, there's nothing that I could suggest that you do differently except,
Have
sort of
support.
protect yourself a little bit more so that
Sure.
because you wanted everybody to have a great time. And it was just like, oh my God, and I understand that, right? I mean, it's like hosting a house party.
It
And
is.
even that, like, puts a lot of stress and pressure on the host or the hostess. But, and this was well, beyond that.
So what I've done, because you shared it with me a little bit, like you said, I could just tell you were doing so much, at least. So what I've done is absolutely the inaugural prize will not be your prize for the people that are moving forward. The price has absolutely um, has gone up on
Mhm.
this experience because I will have someone that will be the person that will worry about the customer's experience, will be the
Right.
person that will put doing the logistics and so on. And I'll be there to facilitate conversations and to just be happy and to say, look at this little bird and look at this piece of fruit and this flower, and let's go see what's going on with the land. How far have they gotten, those are the things that I will be doing, but someone else will be doing all of those things. I appreciate your feedback. Here's something else that you said that I don't even know if you recall. I had sent you a link to a different resort, and I was like, I'm not sure though, because it's not owned by a Black woman. And I'm not sure you said Shalice. Actually, it would be great if we could be a little closer. You said, think of it like this. You're taking us out of our element completely. You're used to this. We're not. So, us being a little closer to the city, such that things are within more walking distance, might be good. As such, my family is now staying at another Black woman owned. It's called Olinka. We're celebrating our parents, David's parents, 59th wedding anniversary at Olinka in Costa Rica. And we're going to be staying at a different resort. And I'm testing that out for the retreat that's coming up in April of 2025, which is why we're here to tell you to launch the retreat that's in April of
Right.
2025. Um, and I'm going to see what it's like. It is absolutely within walking distance of all the excitement, such that we don't have to drive to the middle of town, to the market. We just get up and walk to Bread and Chocolate or the market or, the nighttime shenanigans that happen. So yeah, I appreciate all of that. And
I actually did forget that I did tell you that. I did only, and it's been a while, and I'm not going to tell everybody my age, but yeah, sometimes I just don't remember things as well as I did. But no, yeah, I think that listen, I don't know what your clientele looks like, and like I said, it was a diverse group of people that went on this group, and all of us were game. Like, okay, what are we doing? Okay, great, we're gonna do it. So, I I can't speak for everyone else. Um, I had a great time, and again, you took me in my opinion, into the depths of the jungle, and I know that's an exaggeration, but in any case, and I was able to, I did my thing, right? I wasn't like freaking out. I wasn't scared or anything. But depending upon the type of clients offer this to, or who partake and want to be a part of this experience, yeah, that could be something that could be a little off-putting, and maybe it would take a few days to adapt to that type of environment, which means that they may miss out on just some of the things. So yeah, so that's the reason I said maybe keeping it closer. And also for logistical and transportation challenges too. Though we didn't have any challenges, and it was great. I got to fly on a private jet, and that was great. But again, it was a little extra logistical
It
considerations.
was, yeah, especially if I wanted to be larger than 6 women, which
Yes.
this will be. I'll have between 10 and 12 or 10 and 15. It just
Oh, yeah, definitely.
so lastly, would you recommend this retreat to others? And if so, why?
Absolutely. Like I said, especially so me thinking about, the delegation, they would love it, and they need it. Like all of my sister girlfriends, we work hard. Like, I mean, and strangely enough, if we are not the only child in our family, we are the youngest in our family. And somehow or another, because we joke about this all the time, all the responsibility has fallen to us. We don't understand how, we don't understand why, it just is. But you know what? It's our responsibility. We just own it, and we take it on. But we need a place to just unwind, just to relax and to focus on self. And it is so hard to find those moments. And so when I came back and I told them about everything that I had experienced, I probably still didn't do it justice, but they knew that it was something that I needed, and they applauded the fact that I did go. And and they just loved hearing that I had such a great experience, and I wish that for them. We attempt to plan. I mean, like, and all of us like live in close proximity to one another. Sometimes just doing a ladies' night out is just a lot of work. A lot of times the way that these things happen for us is by happenstance. It's just like it's a last minute thing. Like, hey, I'm going to be here, and then we could. But if we plan it, it never happens. So I would definitely say that yes, I would recommend it, and I would recommend it to those hardworking women who and mothers, and just women carry a lot, and we carry it so gracefully that we don't even realize that we are just so tense in our shoulders until we get a massage, which I didn't do, but the other ladies did do on this trip as well. But in any case, I just feel like it is definitely something that every woman should make time for, to just have some radical rest, to unplug from all of their responsibilities, and to just focus on self.
So, okay, for the woman that's out there, be it a C-level exec or an entrepreneur that's on the fence, that's like, you know, I could do that at home, or I don't have to. What would you say to them?
That you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to just pamper yourself, to connect with yourself. We put so many people before us. We put so many other things before our own well-being, and we don't realize that we that we do this because it's just a part of our everyday. We just it's just a part of our normal. So to make the investment in yourself, it is something that will be rewarded 10 times over. because it's not about the cost. It really truly is about taking care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you won't be there to take care of anyone else. So I would definitely say, think of it that way. This is a retreat and an experience that is truly enjoyable. And you do have the beautiful background of Costa Rica and the beautiful people there who are like absolutely unusually friendly. I'm saying unusual because like we don't really, I mean, I'm from Washington, D.C., so everything is so fast paced here. But I would just say that that whole experience, the mind, the body, the spirit, it's just like all of these things are happening simultaneously, and you don't like realize it until you actually take the moment to reflect. And one of the things that Charlize did ask us to do is that at the end of each day to just reflect upon what we experienced that day. And like I said, I know I jokingly said like she had me on the beach doing cartwheel, but it was liberating. It was, I mean, truly just walking on the black sand beaches, having fun, looking at what the universe has actually produced, and just really, truly just taking the time to just be observant. I mean, because I can't speak for everyone else. I can just speak for myself. I was just running like a hamster on a Ferris wheel, doing the same thing over and over and over again. And to step off of that and to experience, I don't even know like what the word is. It was just the experience. It was great. And I just think that every single woman, especially if you have a stressful job or stressful life, or you're a mother, if you're a wife, whatever, it's just like we know how we cater to the people that we love. This is for you. This retreat is for you.
Thank you, Brenda. And thank you for spending your birthday with us. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
I do plan to expand this at some point, not in April, but I plan to expand this to like entrepreneurs who, men and women. I have a friend, the one whose resort we stayed at, Simone. She does a CEO summer break. And so
Ah,
she brings CEOs from mostly the West Coast. She's out there in LA. She brings CEOs from West Coast area-ish, and they do like workshops and so on and so forth. Of course, my I'm always about radical rest, be it hiking or having a waterfall experience or a chocolate tour or learning about the indigenous, which are things that I'm going to include coming this April
oh, great.
as I begin to refine this experience a lot more. And I want to do this for entrepreneurs, for people like me, and give them the same exact experience that I had when I went to Costa Rica and stepped away from my business for quite some time. And it forced me to put some systems in place that are still there today. So I thank you again. That's coming. I don't know when. It could be 26, it could be 27, it could be September of 25. But let's see how well it goes with my person that's helping me plan. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And truly, I am so grateful that we met. I am so grateful that, you've introduced me to so much, and in ways that, I hadn't necessarily thought to think of things, and to show up in my own life. So I really am appreciative for everything that you've done. And I love you as well. You, we both talk about the law of attraction, and we were just drawn to one another. It is just like so funny. And maybe if we get to do this again, we can like let your audience know like how we just happen to sort of like stumble upon one another in some random bar on a
In
on
a
a ship.
random bar on a ship and like the craziest shit. So yeah, I can't wait. Maybe we will just do like a girlfriend talk where we talk like girlfriends, but turn it. You said you're a mother of three, and my mind was like, and the new glamour,
Oh,
hello.
yes,
You got a
yes,
big
yes.
baby in the house. Well, not in the house, but whatever, you know. But
Exactly.
that was
Yeah.
not it.
Yeah. About
Anyway, right.
what is it? Actually, yeah, just like a month old. So yes.
So I will okay, well, I'll talk to you soon. Everybody, put your questions in, DM me if you want to learn more about this experience. Bye.
Thank you, Charlize. Bye-bye.